afford.
LWE has become an industry leader and performed new construction and retrofit work to companies in several industries. LWE is located in northern Utah and has performed work throughout the western United States. We can be reached at 801-621-3220.
At the Prairie Schooner, you can dine in a covered wagon while enjoying our delicious hand-cut steaks, fresh seafood, and signature desserts. Go to prairieschoonerrestaurant.com or call us at 801-392-2712 to reserve your table today.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke here with you for Game 2 of the day and Game 4 of the series between the Ogden Raptors and the Idaho Falls Chukars. The Raptors came out triumphant in the first game that we played today. Ended just about 50 minutes ago. The Raptors snapped a 7-game losing streak that they had been on with a 15-8 victory over the Idaho Falls Chukars. And the highlight of the evening, or the afternoon, I should say, was Hank Dodson's 2 home runs, one of which was a grand slam, and that earned him his first start as the DH tonight in tonight's afternoon game at 6:30 p.m. between these two teams. Both teams in different jerseys, as they often are in a doubleheader. And so we're looking like two different teams, despite the fact that they wrapped up play just 45 minutes ago. New pitchers and new catchers for both teams, as you often see in doubleheaders. The Ogden Raptors will be looking to continue the momentum that they built this morning. It was the best that they have played against the Idaho Falls Chukars in recent memory. It had been a series thus far that had been dominated by the Idaho Falls Chukars. They had won the first game by 8 and the second game by 11. So this 7-run victory in favor of the Ogden Raptors was one that was badly needed and a definite change of pace. Looking overall at the league standings for the Pioneer League right now, Ogden a big win as they had been falling a little bit. The Modesto Roadsters have won 17 games straight. They sit at 26-1 with a healthy lead in the second half of the season. They have all but punched their ticket to the playoffs. Long Beach Coast and Missoula now tied 18-9. That's huge for the Ogden Raptors, because if Long Beach occupies the second spot for the second half of the season, they have automatically already qualified for the playoffs because of their position in the first half of the season. And so that would mean that the Ogden Raptors could have a chance to make the playoffs based on overall standings. Right now, Idaho Falls sits in 5th place at 16-11. Ogden in 9th at 11-16 has not been their best second half of the season. But what's important to look at is the overall standings, where right now it is Boise and Ogden tied at 40-35. Missoula with a 2-game lead ahead of them at 42-32. The 3 teams above them are Billings, Modesto, and Long Beach, and those 3 teams are likely already going to be qualified. So if they're going to make their way in the playoffs are the Raptors, it would be via the overall standings, but they need to stack wins together, and they kind of need Boise and the Paddleheads to do them a bit of a favor. For Idaho Falls, these upcoming games are very important as they sit 2 games outside of second place. This would be a massive turnaround for them after they went just 15-33 in the first half of the season. And now in the second half of the season have already picked up more wins than they had in that entire first half and are truly making a run at maybe making their way into the playoffs. Now, when it comes to value. Red Pocket Mobile knocks it out of the park. Premium 5G plans start at just $10 a month, and that price stays locked in. No curveballs. Step up to better wireless at redpocket.com. Proud sponsor of the Pioneer Baseball League. Red Pocket Mobile, save hundreds per year on cell service. So let's look at the starting lineups that we're going to have going when it comes to these two teams. Ogden will be in the field first, as always, as the home team. Idaho Falls and their league-leading offense will be up to bat. So they will be led off by Ty Dooley, the shortstop, who is currently on a 32-game hit streak, looking to make it 33 this afternoon. Emilio Barrera will bat second. He did not play in game one of this doubleheader. Sam Canton bats third. Tyler Wyatt will bat cleanup. Justin Trimble will be batting fifth. Wes Mitchell sixth. Parker Lester, he is the owner of the most RBIs of anyone in this series thus far, will bat seventh. Ryan Lee, the catcher, is eighth, and Spencer Rich will bat ninth. Those names of Lee, Rich, and Barrera are the three that did not start in game one of this doubleheader. Lee did come in to have one at-bat in the end of game one of this doubleheader. And then, as you saw, Blaine Huter will be their pitcher. Now, you can see in the background Ogden getting ready to come out through the sparklers as they exit the dugout. Their defense will be coming onto the field first, and they are led by Christopher Oliver, who is getting just his second start with the Ogden Raptors, but his first one was a good one. He went 6 innings, gave up 1 run off 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a home run, and picked up the only victory that the Raptors had over the Paddleheads. We're going to take a quick pause because we have Tyler Gannis of the Ogden Raptors singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last
Hold it right there. Just that one. And then look at the flag.
bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaked, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I mean, Tyler Gannis is the Ogden Raptors' real-life Troy Bolton. That's what I've decided about Tyler Gannis. But as I mentioned, Christopher Oliver will be the man on the mound leading off. Oliver is a 6'1" New Orleans, Louisiana native who is lanky and small, to say the least. 6'1", 150 pounds, a lot of limbs flying at you when he pitches. Behind home plate doing the catching will be Carmine Lane. Tyler Stone is at first. Cole Jordan will be playing second base as always. Chase Valentine will be playing shortstop. Gio Ferraro at third. Good to have him back in the lineup. And then left to right in the outfield, Colson Lawrence, Dylan Wilkinson, and Garrett Bivacqua. So as I mentioned, Chris Oliver had a great first start as an Ogden Raptor. He went, like I said, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Just gave up a homer. He's got the best ERA of anyone on the team right now, a reliever or a starter. But obviously that's an ERA from just 6 innings of work. With 3 strikeouts in 6 innings, he's averaging a strikeout every 2 innings. 2 walks in 6 innings means that he's averaging a walk every 3 innings. That's really good math right there, ladies and gentlemen. So Chris Oliver will be the starting pitcher on the mound for the Raptors. The Raptor offense looks exactly the same as it did for Game 1 today. They liked what they did in Game 1, and they're keeping it the same. Exact same batting order. Dylan Wilkinson will bat first. Carmine Lane second. Chase Valentine batting third. That's a position they have moved him to where they want him batting in high leverage situations with runners on base. That worked very well in game 1. Colson Lawrence will be batting cleanup at 4th. He had a homer in game 1. Tyler Stone also with a homer in game 1. Tyler Stone is coming off of his best game as an Ogden Raptor. He went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Gio Ferraro will bat 6th. Garrett Bivacqua 7th. Cole Jordan 8th. And Hank Dodson, the star of this morning, going 2 for 3 with 5 RBIs, 2 home runs, one of them being a grand slam, will be batting as the DH. So that is going to be your offense for the Ogden Raptors, and it'll be going up against this defense for the Idaho Falls Chukars. Blaine Huter will be the pitcher. Ryan Lee will be catching. Right to left in the infield, you've got Parker Lester, Emilio Barrera, Ty Dooley, and Justin Trimble. And then left to right in the outfield, you've got Spencer Rich, Tyler Wyatt, and Sam Canton. We'll dig more into Blaine Huter when the time comes in the bottom of the first inning. But now it is time for baseball. Second time we're saying that today here at Lindquist Field. Ogden looking to pick up their second straight win. Idaho Falls looking to, in their mind, a return to normalcy after they were dominant in the first 2 games. First pitch is swung on by Dooley. It's flied into left field, and at the wall, it's going to bounce in front of Colson Lawrence for a double to start the game. Colson Lawrence definitely should have caught that one. He had a good beat on it the whole way and just was unable to come down with it. So a tough start to this ball game. Colson Lawrence has been struggling slightly in the outfield, just letting a couple balls drop, maybe not getting the best jump on balls. But nonetheless, leadoff double to start the ball game for the Idaho Falls Chukars. They did score first in this morning's game. They led 1-0 after the top of the first, were tied 1-1 after the bottom of the first. Emilio Barrera will come up for his first at-bat of the day. First pitch from Chris Oliver misses a bit too high. Our umpires have shifted around, so we have Michael Goebel behind home plate, Steele Rogers at first, and Zach Dart over at third. Getting ready is Chris Oliver for his 1-0 offering. Barrera standing with his bottom of his bat almost facing Chris Oliver as the next pitch misses a bit too high. So now a 2-0 count for Oliver, who's throwing to Carmine Lane. Carmine, one of the co-captains on this team, he often plays third base, but is going to be catching today as he has a few times so far this year. Here comes the 2-0 pitch, and that one misses too high. Barrera yet to take the bat off his shoulder. Barrera, 24-year-old from Lawndale, California. In game 2, which is the only game he's played in this series, went 2 for 5. Scored 3 times himself. Next pitch does catch the bottom right side of the strike zone for strike 1. First called strike that Chris Oliver is the owner of today. Ty Dooley is the man on second. 3-1 count. Oliver is adorned in a black undershirt that protrudes from his uniform for black sleeves. A 3-1 misses well too high, and that's a walk to make the runners are on first and second for Sam Canton, one of the best bats in the whole Pioneer League. Canton bats it at .412, second in the Pioneer League, second to his teammate Justin Trimble, and Canton is the team leader in just about every important statistic: runs, hits, doubles, triples, and RBIs. Also leads the team in walks, so has a great eye at the plate. Tough batter to get out. Oliver looks to second, now throws home. His first pitch, a called strike right down the center of the strike zone. Oliver folds his gloved hand into his chest with the ball currently in it. After getting his sign, transfers the ball into his bare hand. Checks Dooley at second, now looks home, and here's the pitch. Way ahead of it was Canton, and it's now an 0-2 count. Double play is in play for the Raptors with no outs, runners on first and second, so a force on every base but home. Wind has definitely picked up a little bit of more movement in the center field flag that's shifting from straight into left field, now dead out of the park. 0-2 on the ground. Cole Jordan will move over to his left, slides on his knees, handles the ball, and throws it over to first for the first out of the inning. Great defensive play by Cole Jordan, but that was enough to advance both Ty Dooley and Emilio Barrera into scoring position. And Tyler Wyatt, their cleanup man, steps up to the plate. So with one out, Tyler Wyatt steps up. Wyatt in this morning's game went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Checking second is Oliver. He kicks his left leg and offers. This one is grounded up the third baseline, foul. Different jerseys for both teams this afternoon. The Raptors have changed into my personal favorite jerseys of the red and blue tie-dye with their white pants. Those are coupled with red hats that have a black bill, or excuse me, a blue bill, and the logo that is an O with a raptor coming out of the middle of it. 0-1 count incoming to Wyatt. Left foot open to his right foot. That pitch misses just barely, a bit too low. Carmine Lane liked it as he points towards Chris Oliver on the mound and nods in encouragement. 1-1 count incoming to Wyatt. Oliver checks the runner on second. That is a Barrera who has a huge lead. 1-1. A ball that started well above the zone and just nosedived with an eye on the strike zone for a called strike 2 to make it a 1-2 count. Tyler Wyatt, the center fielder who bats .387 on the season. Looking down a 1-2 count. Oliver checking and surveying both runners on second and third, and now his pitch misses too high, and we're at deuces. The middle infielders are playing deep, standing just shy of the outfield grass. The corners are deep, but not as deep as the middle infield, about 6 yards beyond their respective bases. Small lead off of third for Ty Dooley, standing stagnant on the baseline. Here's the 2-2, waited on and grounded to Ferraro. He'll look home and now decide to go to first to Stone for the second out of the inning. But that is enough for one run to score. Gio Ferraro decided to take the bird in hand and get the for sure out over at first. And I don't hate that. In a contest that has been so high scoring, I mean, you have totals through the week of 21 runs for the winning team in game 1, 20 runs in game 2, now 15 in game 3. You can probably afford to give up a run just to ensure that you do get 2 outs. The winner of this game is going to be the one that avoids giving up the huge innings. So there's 2 outs now as Justin Trimble steps up to the plate. First pitch from Oliver is considered by Justin Trimble, but then he decided he didn't like the look of it, and nonetheless, it was a strike. Two outs, runner on second for Justin Trimble, who stands at the ready for the 0-1 pitch from the righty Oliver. High left leg kick. The pitch is taken right back up the gullet. Coming in over to his right is Wilkinson, the center fielder, and he snags it out of the air for the final out of the inning. So after Chris Oliver gave up a leadoff double and then a walk, he walks out of the inning having only allowed 1 run. And we will go into the bottom of the first. Same score as we did this morning, 1-0 in favor of the Idaho Falls Chukars. We'll be back for it after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. First pitch incoming to Dylan Wilkinson is a bit too low, out of the hand of Huter. Here in the bottom of the first inning, the Idaho Falls Chukars have a 1-0 lead. This is, though, the Raptors' first time to get on the board here in the bottom of the first. Next pitch works inside on Dylan Wilkinson for ball number 2. Blaine Huter is the right-handed pitcher for the Idaho Falls Chukars. He stands with a slightly closed stance, shoulders closed to home plate. His next pitch is hit right back up the middle by Dylan Wilkinson. Rushing in on it is the center fielder, but ultimately it is Tyler Wyatt who's able to come down with the ball for the first out of the inning. So Blaine Huter has a 17.18 ERA on the season. This is just his second start of the year, and he's only pitched 3 2/3 of an inning. So looking for a longer outing than his last time. Also interesting note, he's the second pitcher this year named Blaine for the Idaho Falls Chukars. Carmine Lane hits the first pitch on the ground to his usual third base counterpart, and it's handled by Trimble, who gives it off to first base for the second out of the inning. Huter has made quick work of the top 2 of this Raptors batting order. Huter's first start of the season and with the Idaho Falls Chukars came in Game 4 against the Boise Hawks. They ultimately did win that game 27-8, but in the 3 2/3 inning, he gave up 7 runs off 10 hits, did strike out 3, and only walked 1, so control was not bad. He spikes this one in the dirt in front of Chase Valentine for ball 1. That was just the 4th pitch he'd thrown, so he's very efficient through the first 2 batters that he had faced. Valentine circles his bat in front of his body and now sets up. Here's the next pitch, and that one works inside 2-0. Valentine nicely picks up the mishandled ball by the catcher Lee and hands it back to him. So far, Wilkinson flew out to center, which is where he's playing. Lane grounded out to the third baseman, where he usually plays. If we're going to follow suit, that would mean that Chase Valentine is going to ground out to Ty Dooley, the shortstop. So here comes the 3-0, and that one does catch the inside of the strike zone. Chase Valentine dropped his bat and made a move to maybe try to walk down to first, but didn't challenge, which I like. I'm a big fan of holding your challenges. I talked about that in Game 1. So it's a 3-1 to the shortstop, Chase Valentine. He rips this one into left field. No doubt off the bat. It's a home run for Chase Valentine. 109 miles an hour off the bat. An absolute bullet by Chase Valentine. It carries 416 feet to tie this game back up at 1 run apiece. Chase Valentine, his 17th home run of the year, and he continues to extend his lead of extra base hits for the team. It's a good example of what happens when you get behind an account 3-0 and then 3-1, and just really limits the amount of pitches that you can throw. So now with 2 outs, it's time for Colson Lawrence to step up. He knocked a homer of his own this morning. He swings at the first pitch, and it's flied into right field. Doesn't have enough distance, and Sam Canton will squeeze it for the 3rd out of the inning. So far, our game is looking just like this morning. It's 1-1 after the top of the first inning. We'll head into the top of the second after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
We are big enough to where we have established processes and procedures to protect you, but we're small enough to where there's still an owner involved in the day-to-day operations to ensure that we don't lose that personal touch. We'd love to tell you more about us, and feel free to reach out to us. You can reach our team at 801-728-0454.
Kier has evolved into a diversified general contractor with experience in commercial construction. Hundreds of projects throughout the Intermountain West attest to Kier's wide range of expertise in design and build. Kier Construction invites you to experience the difference. Call us at 801-627-1414.
Windward Electric is the foremost commercial and industrial electrical contractor in the Intermountain West. We value relationships as we strive to provide exceptional experiences for our clients. Call 801-648-7270 for a quote or visit windwardelectric.com today.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network, and we're now joined by the manager of the Ogden Raptors, Ed Campanello. Campy, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
So game 2 of a doubleheader, the big question is just energy management and being able to play 2 games in a row. The 7 innings means it's shortened, but does that change your game plan at all?
Well, I mein, in these games, it's sometimes we like to do some things early with the offense, but I mean, our guys got a lot of energy. Definitely after a win, that helps, keep the energy up, and we've got one of our best guys on the mound, so I like our chances.
Hank Dodson was the hot bat this morning, and then you now put him in as DH. I mean, is that really just something where he's feeling it in the box and you want to keep him in the lineup?
Yeah, we want to play the hot hand. That situation, maybe called for a left-handed hitter, but we had a little conversation. I liked the matchup with him, and it worked out. And he's got a good, short, simple approach tonight. And yeah, I'm just playing the hot hand and see how it rolls out.
Absolutely, Campy. Congrats on the win earlier today, and look forward to the rest of this game. Thanks for the time.
All right, thank you.
First pitch is swung on and ripped to center field by Wes Mitchell. So now it brings up Parker Lester, the left-hander, with a runner on first. He pulls this one nicely through the gap of first and second. It's going to go down as a base hit, if not more, to Garrett Bivacqua in right field. It's a base hit for Parker Lester, but it's enough for Wesley Mitchell to extend 180 feet to third base. So 2 batters come up to the plate in the top of this second inning, and it's 2 hits already. Both of them on the first or second pitch of the at-bat. Wesley Mitchell was first pitch. Parker Lester was the second. It brings up the 8-hole hitter, Ryan Lee, who has had success so far in Ogden with his 2 home runs back in game 2. First pitch, beautiful by Chris Oliver. Started looking like it was going to be maybe a hair inside to the right-handed batter, Lee. And then it broke 10.8 inches back into the strike zone for strike 1. So it's an 0-1 count coming into Lee. Oliver, with his left arm pinned up against his body, now extends into his motion. Exact same pitch, exact same result, called strike 2. Ryan Lee shakes his head a little bit, almost an acknowledgement of the amount of movement that Oliver is putting on that pitch. So now it's an 0-2 count with runners on the corners, no outs. Oliver looking for out number 1 at the top of this second. Here's the pitch. Misses a bit too high. First ball of the at-bat, 1-2. Ryan Lee came into bat as a substitution in game 1. He went 0 for 1. He struck out. But back in game 1, like I said, 2 for 3 and 2 homers in the first 2 at-bats that he came in to hit because he didn't start that game either. 1-2, check swing, appeal down to first base, and he did not go around. Make it a 2-2 count. Two singles given up so far in this inning, and that's what has caused the runners on the corners. Oliver searching for out numero uno. Ryan Lee waving his bat behind his jet black helmet. Here comes a 2-2 pitch, and that is 3 straight strikes of the exact same pitch. It's that ball that starts high and inside and then just falls into the strike zone. Ryan Lee strikes out looking for out number 1. Beautiful thing about a strikeout, too, is it can't move the runners. One out for Spencer Rich. First pitch as Chris Oliver tries again with it. And that one misses a bit too low. He motions with his right hand, almost to remind himself to finish his motion. His black arm sleeves contrast on his bright white pants, as he's only, probably this is the first time he's wearing them as a new member of the team. His next pitch misses too high, and it's 2-0. Not sure what jerseys the Raptors wore in Game 1 in Missoula, but that would be the only jersey that Chris Oliver has worn for these Ogden Raptors. 2-0 count, Carmine Lane delivering the signs. No fear of them getting taken as there's no runner on second. Oliver will step off the mound and reset, licking the fingertips of his right hand. Small lead for Mitchell off of first. Only about 2 or 3 paces. He now extends it to 3 or 4. Here comes the next pitch. Swung on and missed, as Spencer Rich needed a bat that was about 3 feet longer to reach that one. Oliver is having a lot of success with that sweeper that moves away from the right-handers right now. It's the pitch that he got Ryan Lee out on. It's now the pitch he got Spencer Rich to chase on. Rich bats .344 on the season. Next pitch misses outside. That .344 though let's say it's a malleable batting average, as Rich has only had 32 at-bats. This is his 33rd. 3-1 count after the next pitch missed outside. Here it comes from Oliver. This one a pop out. Tyler Stone has a beat on it. He's in foul territory, now sidesteps into fair. But regardless of where he's standing, he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So after Oliver allowed the first 2 runners to get on with a back-to-back singles, he has now struck out and caused a pop-out of the next 2. And he is in good position if he can get Dooley out to strand 2 runners. They would be the second and third runners that have been stranded today. So we roll back over to the top of the batting order now. His first pitch to Ty Dooley is a called strike. Chris Oliver made his way through the lineup for the first time in 28 pitches. So okay efficiency, I would say, but it's not often that you want to see the top of the batting order again in the second inning. Here's the 0-1, swung on the ground. Cole Jordan shuffles to his right and now gives it off to Chase Valentine at second for the force out to end the inning. So Chris Oliver avoids disaster after giving up 2 base hits to start the inning. He leaves 2 batters stranded, and we're still knotted up at 1 heading into the bottom of the second inning on the Ogden Raptors broadcast network.
From providing a great member experience to providing easy access to your accounts with our mobile app, we are here to help you along your journey. Call 801-399-9728 for more information or visit AscentCU.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years, getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
This broadcast is the exclusive property of the Ogden Raptors Baseball Club and the Pioneer Baseball League. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, reproduction, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Ogden Raptors and the Pioneer Baseball League is strictly prohibited.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Tyler Stone swings and pokes the first pitch foul. Still out of the hand of Blaine Huter, who has continued his work on the mound thus far. Fans are filling up now, enjoying everything Lindquist Field has to offer, most namely the Pepsi products. I can tell you that it was a short break in between games, but I did have time to grab a Pepsi. Here comes the 0-1 to Stone. This one, a ground ball that was hit hard but handled by Lester. He waves off Huter and takes it to first himself for the first out of the inning. Speaking of efficiency, Huter has done a great job. He's gotten the first 4 outs of the game in a matter of 12 pitches. So now coming up to bat is going to be Gio Ferraro. He's getting his first action in 2 games, as he didn't play in the first 2 games of this series. First pitch is a called strike that caught the inside of the strike zone. Ferraro steps out of the box and readjusts his dark black batting gloves. Here comes the pitch. That one also in the bottom of the strike zone. Ferraro is going to use a red pocket mobile strike zone challenge. This is the time that I can't stand the challenge. There's no one on base. There's 1 out. It's just not a high leverage situation. And it is confirmed a strike. So just like that, it's not a wasted challenge, but it just feels like it could be used better later in the game, in my humble opinion. But I am in the broadcast booth, not in the dugout or anything like that. Doesn't matter, as Ferraro rips this one over the head of the shortstop Ty Dooley, and that goes down as a base hit into left center field. That's Ferraro's second hit today. He went 1 for 3 in the first game. And so now Bavacqua will step up to the plate with 1 out and a runner on first. Shadows becoming a factor as we settle into the later parts of the evening. Most of the field is still illuminated by sun, but Bavacqua at home plate and probably 20 feet ahead of him, just shy of the mound dirt, are in shade as the first pitch from Huter misses outside and too low. Difficult sometimes for the batter as the ball is starting in the sunlight and then moving into the darkness as it approaches you. Right-hander, close stance is Huter. His pitch is swung on and taken right back up the middle by Garrett Bavacqua. Rounding second and stopping there is Gio Ferraro. And a well-hit 99-mile-an-hour line drive gets Garrett Bavacqua on base and reaches Gio Ferraro over to second. Back-to-back hard-hit line drives by Ferraro and Bavacqua, 6 and 7 in the batting order, respectively. No, that was not on purpose for anyone here in the booth with me. Just happens to be where they are in the lineup. Cole Jordan, one of those co-captains, steps up for his first at-bat of the night. Runners are on first and second for him. Bright white batting gloves to match his white pants. Huter checks the man on second. A pop-up bunt is caught by Huter, and Cole Jordan unable to lay it down successfully. It's got to be one of the most frustrating mistakes, is all you're trying to do is advance the runner and aren't quite able to do that. Somehow the bat boy has 3 different bats that he has to take back to the dugout, along with an arm guard, a shin guard, and some other piece of armor. I mean, give this bat boy a raise down there. He's got a Dick's Sporting Goods store worth of equipment in his arms. 2 outs, runners are on first and second for Hank Dodson, the hero of this morning's game. First pitch incoming from Huter, misses, no, called strike in the bottom part of the strike zone. Good pitch. Obviously, I also would have taken, as Hank Dodson did. So Dodson 272 on the season, but a great day for him yesterday. Or excuse me, not even yesterday, this morning. 2 for 3, grand slam, and a solo shot. 0-1 pitch. Misses down too low, gets behind Ryan Lee, but not enough for Gio Ferraro to advance, and so they'll stay where they are. So it's a 1-1 count to Hank Dodson now. First time this year that he has played DH. He moves the bat slightly jerkily above his right shoulder. Huter checks the man on second. His pitch, breaking ball that just nosedives into the strike zone for called strike 2. Both of these right-handed pitchers have phenomenal movement on their pitches. Built very differently, though, are these two pitchers. Huter, pretty built, and has probably 8 inches on Oliver. 1-2, Huter looking to end the inning, and it's fouled back for Hank Dodson to stay alive. Ferraro has Huter's attention out there on second base. He's dancing around the base paths on his tiptoes between second and third. Huter is 6'5", 210 compared to Chris Oliver's 6'1", 150. So I guess he has more weight than height, but just look like very differently built models. It's an SUV versus a sedan sort of thing. This one popped back as well into foul territory, and Hank Dodson manages to stay alive. He'll do the 1-2 for the third time now. Hank Dodson adjusts his pants before stepping into the box. He's traded out the baby blues for the all whites between game 1 and game 2 today. Ferraro continuing to have Huter's attention, but he's stagnant on the base pass this time, shuffling barely to his right. Dodson waits on the slider, but pops it up. 3 different Chukars are converging on it, and it drops between all of them. Mishandling the ball as the shortstop after he picked it up, and that's enough for Ferraro to score, Bavacqua to get to third, and Dodson to get to second. When it is your day, it is your day, and Hank Dodson is feeling it right now. It was a very softly hit ball that was going to be a hard play, but I would say 3 different maroon jerseys converging on it probably mean one of them should come up with it. Luckily for the Raptors, with the 2-out scenario, everyone was just running on contact, which is what allowed both Ferraro and Bavacqua to advance 80 feet, or not 180 feet, excuse me. First pitch, Dylan Wilkinson is a called strike as we've moved back to the top of the batting order. It's going to go down as a double for Hank Dodson, double and an RBI. Wilkinson flew out to center his first time up. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him. He lines this one on 2 hops, handled by Ostrander, the second baseman. No, excuse me, that's Barrera. He is traded out with Ostrander. But nonetheless of who fielded it, they are able to get the out over at first. But the Raptors do add 1 more run, so they take the lead for the first time in this game. 2-1 in favor of Ogden as we head into the top of the third after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
When you're hungry at the ballpark and the Raptors come to play, there's only one place in the stadium, and it's Hardball Cafe. George, the captain of the crew, leading every single day with Aiden, S.J. Lilly, Sage, and Wilson on the way. Hardball Cafe.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locks joining you. Top of the third inning, it's Raptors 2, Idaho Falls 1. Chris Oliver will continue his work on the mound. His first pitch misses too low to the second baseman, Emilio Barrera. New jerseys for the Idaho Falls Chukars as well. They're in their maroon jerseys with gray pants that we saw back on Tuesday. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one misses too high. They're wearing black helmets to go along with them. And then the caps that they have when they're out in the field are black with red bills. So both teams playing with multicolored ball caps today, which I will say I like the look of. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that is a beautiful little slider from Chris Oliver. Same pitch he's been having a lot of success with, the one we've talked about. It starts inside and then just drops its way into the strike zone. So it's now 2-1 to Barrera. Covering his face with his mitt is Oliver, and then just slinging it in there, going from 77 miles an hour up to 79, and moving the location of his pitch just a little more outside. Oliver can put enough English on his ball that he will just keep a batter guessing, and that's really his strength. So now preparing for the 2-2 is Oliver. That one, he pulled a bit too far across his body as a righty, and it missed outside. Forced Carmine Lane to extend his gloved hand all the way across his body. Full count announces the Muppet out on the left field big screen. Oliver, left leg kick. Here's the pitch, and looking a little bit silly is Emilio Barrera as he went searching for that pitch. Nowhere near the strike zone, but it's going to send him walking back to the dugout. Second strikeout of the evening for Oliver. And he has started off this third inning better than either of the other two, as he allowed the leadoff man to get on in both of the last 2 innings. First strikeout swinging that Oliver has recorded, but he'll take him either way they can come. First pitch. It's a bit too high. The man stepping into the box is Sam Canton, who so far is 0 for 1. Canton in game 1 today went 2 for 2, but didn't have an RBI, which is surprising for the man who has set the franchise record for RBIs on the Idaho Falls Chukars team. Next pitch called strike, so it's an 0-2 count. Canton rests his bat on his shoulder, now brings it up. Here's the 0-2 pitch. He hits this one, chops it down, a high hop, but it's handled by Cole Jordan, and he gives it off to first base, Tyler Stone, for the second out of the inning. Cole Jordan does a beautiful job of staying back on balls, which often means he's able to handle any weird hops a little bit better than if you're charging them. Now, he has the ability to do that because he's playing second and his throw over to first is shorter. You know, if you're the likes of Gio Ferraro or Chase Valentine over at short and third base, you kind of have to charge the ball as you've got less time to make your throw. It's got to cover more distance. Nonetheless, 2 outs, and his first pitch to Tyler Wyatt, Oliver's first pitch, is poked foul. Coming into this game, the Idaho Falls Chukars, or coming into this morning, the Idaho Falls Chukars had been convincing in the way that they had been winning these games, an 8-run victory and then an 11-run victory. And before the first game of today, they had scored 20 runs in 4 of their last 5 games. So now, being held to just 8 runs, breaking that trend just slightly. It's a 1-1 count incoming to Tyler Wyatt, right-hander. The pitch is slung in and missed just a bit too low for ball 3. I think slung is probably the best description of the way Oliver throws the ball. You can almost see the torque on his lanky right arm up here from the booth. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it misses too high to make it 3-1. Carmine Lane had to really reach up there to get a grab on that. Chris Oliver walks behind the rubber and off of the mound into the grass, resets, makes a couple adjustments to his jersey, and now toes the rubber basically dead center between first and third base. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. That one right back up the middle, uses the mound as a ramp, and that tough hop caused Cole Jordan to not be able to get a good read on it. It bounced off of his right shin into the outfield, and that's going to be a base hit. And they're asking for the ball for Tyler Wyatt. Claps all around. That's Wyatt's 92nd hit of the year. With 2 outs, it's going to bring up Justin Trimble. Runner on first, obviously, is Tyler Wyatt, who just got on. First pitch is a called strike. Same pitch that Oliver's having a lot of success with, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Especially just going through the order for the second time. Probably have to be careful still offering that up on the third or fourth time through the order, as it does kind of hang available to get a barrel on for a while. He goes heater on this next one, and a checked swing that did ultimately go through the zone from Trimble falls him behind 0-2. So after striking out and a ground out in the first 2 batters, Wyatt got on with a single, and now it's Trimble up with 2 outs. It's still the Raptors with a 2-1 lead in the top of this third inning. Oliver, deep breath. Here comes the pitch. On the ground to Cole Jordan, drops his right knee, fields it, and gives it over to first base for the final out of the inning. And claps by Carmine Lane towards his pitcher for the second scoreless inning in a row. It's still the Raptors with a 2-1 lead heading into the bottom of the third on the Ogden Raptors broadcast network.
This can keep a battle buddy safe from the risk of suicide. I get it, it's just a phone. But when you call a friend, you show that you care, which can help them fight their inner battle. Now drop and call 20 people.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
From the humble beginnings of Lael Bowman and Mel Kemp, the company has grown into a large steel facility supplying structural steel, reinforcing steel, and basement window systems.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors broadcast network. First pitch from Huter into Lane is a called strike, so it's 0-1. Tyler Wyatt's single in the last inning increased his hit streak up to 33, which is the Pioneer League record. Carmine Lane with a hit of his own. Maybe not. It's gloved by the shortstop, Ty Dooley, but he laid out and flew through the air in a way that didn't allow him to get up and make a play. So it was a nice fielding play, but not nice enough to make the out over at first. Tyler Wyatt broke the hit streak that was set by Herbert Harlow of the Ogden Reds in 1950, and then was later tied by the Billings Mustangs' Chris Valaika in 2006. But obviously a record that has stood now for over 70 years. First pitch to Chase Valentine misses inside, and he brings his arms behind his head so as to avoid getting clipped. Valentine hit a home run. His last time up, 1-for-1 on the day. Here's the 1-0 pitch to him. He waited, and it just barely bounced off of the end of his barrel. It rolled slowly enough to Emilio Barrera that they weren't able to turn two, but they are able to get the first out of the inning over at first base. So it actually probably benefited Chase Valentine that that ball only came off of his bat at 50 miles an hour. And it allowed Carmine Lane to make it over to second. So there's a runner on second for Colson Lawrence. Powerful right-hander who leads the team in home runs. He's got 24. Hit his 24th earlier today to extend his team lead. Here comes the pitch from Huter. And that one misses a bit too far outside and down low. Huter using all of his 6'5" frame. He reaches all the way back towards second base in his motion and then whips the ball back towards home plate. Here comes the 1-0. He checks Lane on second, and this pitch is fouled back over our heads. As Tyson Whiting would mention, we are still yet to have a foul ball here in the GCB Computers broadcast booth. I did find a very beat-up ball that I've been just fiddling with for the last couple games. I think every broadcaster needs their little fidget. 1-1 incoming from Huter. Deep breath that made his shoulders rise and fall. Here comes the pitch. That works inside on Colson Lawrence. He buckles his knees and backs up to avoid the baseball. Carmine Lane seems to be stretching out a little bit. You can see him if you're watching the HTN feed. He now walks back into the base path and gets ready with his weight shifting back and forth. Next pitch inside again to Colson Lawrence, who backs up once again. And it's now a 3-1 count. Huter has avoided giving up a walk so far today. Chris Oliver, the Raptors pitcher, has given up one. Careful, though, for Huter as he's in jeopardy with a 3-1 count. His pitch is swung on and missed, and oh, that hit Ryan Lee in a place that looked unfortunate. So he'll walk it off. Colson Lawrence looks back on him, maybe asks if he's okay. And he's going to just walk around. Home plate umpire Michael Goebel goes out and hands the ball to Blaine Huter. I was talking about kind of the etiquette when it comes to baseball of if your home plate umpire gets clipped, if you're the catcher, you go out and suddenly have a very important conversation with your pitcher to hand him the ball. Just stuff like that. Same thing applies when the catcher gets clipped. Looks like Ryan Lee is okay, though. So we'll do the full count. Offering incoming from Huter. 1 out, and the ball misses outside. So that's his first walk given up of the evening, as that one probably missed the zone by about 12 inches. So Colson Lawrence gets on base for the first time tonight with a walk. And now it brings up Tyler Stone. Stoney is coming off of his best game as a Raptor. Remember, he joined them about a fourth of the way through the season from the Paddleheads and had been struggling. He was batting under 200 coming into this series, but now bats at 286. So it's been a great series for Stoney so far. First pitch to him misses too low for ball one. This morning, he went 3 for 4 and had a 3-run homer. 1-0 count, bat high above his head. Likes to raise his hands very high in his preset. Swings and misses on the next pitch to make it a 1-1 count. You can see that Stone has a lot of power in his swing, just in the way that he releases the barrel through the strike zone, but it is obviously one that takes some effort to be timed up. He has struck out more than he's walked this year. So it's a 1-1 count incoming to the powerful lefty. Huter checks Carmine once again at second. Stone unleashes on this one, but it's got a little bit too much height and not quite enough distance. And it's going to be Sam Canton missing it in right field. He just misread it, and it dropped over his head. Looking like Bad News Bears out there. And once again, more Bad News Bears. This one bounces over the head of Ryan Lee, and Carmine Lane is able to take advantage as the ball bounced towards the backstop. So what should have been the second out of the inning on a routine fly ball out in right field becomes disaster as the throw in from right field takes an odd hop off of the grass out in front of home plate, goes all the way to the backstop, and allows Carmine Lane to score and Tyler Stone to make it to second. It's been the Raptors' day so far, and it continues to be as a run scores on a bad news Bears-esque play. I think Stone might get credited with the single because Sam Canton never actually touched the baseball. It is going to go down as an error, so it's in an E9 for Stone, and the run for Carmine Lane is unearned. But after all that, Ferraro rips this one to left field, and it lands fair. It bounces around off of the foul pole in left field. Colson Lawrence comes around to score. Just about 20 feet behind him is Tyler Stone, and it's turned into a big inning for the Ogden Raptors as Gio Ferraro knocks a 2 RBI double to score the third run in 2 batters. Ryan Lee is going to call time and go have a few words with Huter as the Raptors have now scored 3 runs. They have a 5-1 lead. So the conversation between Ryan Lee and Blaine Huter continues. Caden London, the first base coach, has a couple words with Garrett Bivacqua, who is the man up. So now Colson Lawrence and Tyler Stone's runs are also both unearned. And it's the second time today that some faux pas by the Idaho Falls Chukars open up the possibility for some unearned runs. As, if you remember, Hank Dodson was able to come up to the plate because of an error on the first baseman, and then he knocked a grand slam. All 4 of those runs were unearned, and those were really the runs that opened up the game for the Ogden Raptors. So with 1 out, Huter offers to Bivacqua, who swings on the first pitch and fouls it back. Campy clapping in encouragement. Campanello is the third base coach. The man up after Garrett Bivacqua is Cole Jordan, standing just a bit behind our Pepsi on deck circle. Pepsi products offered all throughout Linquist Field. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bivacqua hits this one on the ground to opposite field. That'll sail into left field on the ground. Holding up at third is Gio Ferraro. And the Raptors stringing together some at-bats now. They lead it by 4, threatening to make it bigger. Bivacqua didn't do anything special with that hit. It was down in the zone, a little bit inside, and just took it opposite field. Was only off the ground for about 0.2 seconds, but it just rolled and rolled and rolled into the green grass. So Huter continuing to get a little bit roughed up by the Raptors. Cole Jordan steps in, right foot first, now left. Jordan with black arm sleeves. Just 1 on his right arm. Here's the pitch from Huter. Check swing, but Jordan holds back on a ball that continued to tail farther and farther away from the strike zone. Jordan was unable to lay down a bunt in his first time. He popped out, looking for a better outcome with a 1-0 count. Runners on the corners. Ferraro in a runner stance at third base, but he's unable to move anywhere as Cole Jordan swings and misses on the 1-0 offering to make it 1-1. One count, pickoff throw. Bivacqua dives and swims with his arms to get back to first base, but he does so safely. So it's still a 1-1 count as the pitch didn't come home. This one will, and the 1-1 is pulled foul beyond the dugout for the Ogden Raptors. Cole Jordan is a third-year member of the Ogden Raptors, and he's a man that spent a lot of time in Utah. Despite being from California, he played with the Raptors for 3 years and went to Utah Valley University. Here's the 1-2, and Cole Jordan swings and misses the throw down to second on the steal. Gets past the second baseman. Another miscue, and it's enough for Gio Ferraro to come home and score. If there is ever such thing as a productive strikeout, Cole Jordan kind of just did it. as the throw after the strike towards Emilio Barrero at second base got past him. It went into the outfield, and Gio Ferraro scored. That's I believe, the 5th unearned run of this inning, maybe the 4th. So now Hank Dodson will come up to bat. He hit a little blooper back in the second inning, that ultimately turned into a double, as none of the Chukars were able to come up with it. First pitch misses a hair outside for ball 1. So Dodson is 1 for 1 on tonight's game, which puts him at 3 for 4 for the day. 14 innings being played today. Both games are abbreviated 7-inning games. The next pitch misses a bit too high, so we're now 2-0. So here's the 2-0 on the ground. Weird hop off of the end of the grass in the infield. And once again, the Raptors continue to benefit from odd bounces at Lindquist Field. Talk about home field advantage. A little bit like a member's bounce on a golf course. And Garrett Bivacqua comes home to score. Absolutely cannot fault Justin Trimble for that one. The ball was low off of the bat of Hank Dodson. It looked low all the way and then just skipped off of the seam between the infield grass and the infield dirt and bounced over Trimble's head. As the meeting goes on the mound, I gotta give a big thank you, as Mr. Gannis is in the house tonight, and he just delivered me via Frank Patrick some fries. What a day for me here in the booth. I'm having a better day than Blaine Huter is right now on the mound. Now, the whole press box might smell like garlic by the end of the night, and that's on me. I'll go hand up for accountability on that. But everyone here in the press box, help yourself. Shout out Mr. Gannis. Mountain meeting that was headed by Bob Malachy ends, and now Dylan Wilkinson will step into the bat. So already, 5 runs have come in to score. First pitch is a called strike to Wilkinson. The biggest thing about a lot of this is that a lot of these runs have scored with 2 outs. The last one, as well as the Ferraro steal home after the wild throw. Here's the 0-1 to Dylan Wilkinson. He just barely taps this one off of the edge of his bat, sails behind him foul. So Wilkinson's behind 0-2. And despite his team's bats getting going tonight, he has yet to record a hit. He has flown out to his center field counterpart, and he also grounded out to second base. Next pitch dives in towards the strike zone, but still misses a hair outside to make it 1-2. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. It's playing throughout Lindquist Field, and I'm seeing a couple claps in the Raptors dugout. Idaho Falls dugout, not a lot of movement of those hands. Here comes the 1-2. Jammed up on the hands is Wilkinson. A backhand grounder is handled by the first baseman, Lester, and it is a rundown between Huter and Dylan Wilkinson, but Huter wins the rundown, and he's able to record the 3rd out of the inning. But the Raptors put up 5 runs on quite a few miscues by the Idaho Falls Chukars, and they lead this one 7-1 heading into the top of the 4th inning after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out.
We're cheap.
Just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10.
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket. Like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
It starts with a vision, a goal that sets the wheels in motion. The path may be rough, but with grit, hard work, and the right support, no race is too tough. No goal beyond reach. Bank of Utah provides all the tools and expertise I need to get across the finish line. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Bank of Utah today.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. First pitch is a called strike out of the hand of Chris Oliver, and his Idaho Falls Chukars find themselves in a hole for the second time today. 7-1 in favor of the Ogden Raptors. This is a total that we have seen already before. The Ogden Raptors led 7-1 at one point during Game 1. They actually led 7-1 after the bottom of the second inning, so took an inning longer to get there today, but the Chukars worked their way right back into that ball game, tying it up at 8 after 4 innings. So you know the Chukars have the firepower to overcome big deficits. But Chris Oliver has looked pretty good on the mound thus far. His 0-2 pitch misses inside. The man up to bat, Wes Mitchell, whipped his head around, trying to make sure the ball didn't do anything funky to sneak its way into the strike zone after he stopped watching it. Here's the 1-2. That one down in the dirt. Carmine Lane drops his left knee to block it, despite no one being on base. He'll exchange the ball out and pass it back to Oliver. The lights are on out in the outfield, but they're not quite needed yet, as at just 7:30, we're still over an hour away from sunset. Oliver nods convincingly as he receives his deuces sign. That one, check swing down in the dirt, and he did not go around. Carmine Lane leans back in disgust and now exchanges the ball once again. So after getting ahead 0-2, Chris Oliver finds himself looking at a full count. Wes Mitchell has done a good job to work his way back in this one. He's 1 for 1 tonight with a single to left field. He later got stranded on the base paths. Payoff pitch incoming. Big leg kick from Oliver. The pitch right down the middle, called strike 3. And that's Oliver's 3rd strikeout of the evening, 2nd one that he's got someone looking on. Third strikeout so far for Chris Oliver, and he continues his success as an Ogden Raptor thus far. He's now gone 9 innings as a Raptor, and he has given up just 2 runs. First pitch, pulled up the right field line. That's a base hit for Parker Lester. He'll rounds first and go to second as the ball is picked up by Bavacqua. Bavacqua rifles it into the infield, but not in time. And it's a double for Parker Lester, his 2nd hit of the night. Lester just went down and got a ball that was low in the zone. Pulled it up the right field line where Tyler Stone nor Garrett Bavacqua could make a play on it. Lindquist Field has unforgiving corners of the ballpark, to say the least. If you're able to get your ball careening around in there, it's kind of like pinball. You don't really know what you're going to get. Oliver looks back at the man on second, Lester, who just arrived there. Now looks back towards Ryan Lee and fires a first pitch called strike into him. Lee walks in a full circle, collecting himself with his bat in his right hand. The inner pocket of his back left pocket, the inner fabric, is protruding. Just hanging out as Lee got something going on with his eye. That's the 2nd time that's happened. I don't know if maybe Lee's contacts aren't cooperating, but it's the 2nd time in 3 games that he's had to step out of the box like that. On the 0-1 count, glove is over towards Oliver's right pec, and he fires it in. Swing and a miss by Ryan Lee. And it's 0-2 now. Ryan Lee has struck out looking once today in his first at-bat, trying to avoid the same outcome here. Oliver shifting his glove from his front left side over to his rightmost part of his chest. The 0-2 taken right back up the middle. Coming in on it is Wilkinson, and he jumps in the air to make the snag, runs in a couple feet, and then throws the ball into Valentine to make sure that Parker Lester over on second base can't advance. It was a hard hit ball. He got good lumber on it, 90 miles an hour off the bat, but unfortunately just straight to Dylan Wilkinson out in center field. So now there's 2 outs for Spencer Rich, who has not had the best series thus far, to say the least. He is just 2 for 12 in the 2 games that he's played in. He didn't play in game 1 earlier today. First pitch to him is just barely inside. And Rich 2 for 12 entering into today's game, now 2 for 13 as he flew out his last time up. He holds the bat in his left hand, almost displaying it to Oliver, and now brings it back at the ready. Here's the 1-0. And that the first time that Oliver has pitched something that worked from Looker's right to left. Everything else has been left to right, but that one moved the opposite direction, still worked its way into the strike zone. Chris Oliver looking good and in control right now. Here comes the 1-1 after he checks Lester on second. Leg kick, the runner goes, swing and a miss. Carmine Lane doesn't care, as it's now a 1-2 count, and one more pitch could end the inning. But picking up the stolen bag is Parker Lester. Just Lester's 3rd stolen base of the year. The team as a whole, the Idaho Falls Chukars, not active on the base paths. They've stolen less than 60 times this year. Circling his bat a couple times before bringing it over his right shoulder is Rich. Incoming pitch from the righty Oliver is a check swing, and he did go around, so they're going to throw the ball down to first base to get the strikeout. Rich, as we've seen him do a couple times, spikes all of his gear onto the ground. And that's the end of the top of the 4th inning. Another 0 for the Idaho Falls Chukars, and it's the Raptors 7, Chukars 1. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Do you thrive on a challenge? Does crafting complex parts ignite your passion? Peterson Inc. isn't your average manufacturer. We're world-class, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're looking for skilled welders and machinists to join our team. People who take pride in precision. If you're wanting to contribute to groundbreaking innovations, Peterson Inc. is your place. Visit petersoninc.com and join the team that builds the future.
GCB Computers. Refurbished, reliable, and ready to go. The computer you need at the price you can afford.
This is Hannah with the Ogden Raptors. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, videos, and accounts of this game is prohibited without the express written consent of the Pioneer Baseball League. Copyright 2024, Pioneer Baseball League.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke, and we're joined by the manager of the Idaho Falls Chukars, Bob Malachy. Manager Malachy, in these more condensed games in just 7 innings, is there a change in your game plan at all?
A little bit. I mean, mostly if the game's close. Then it's not close. It's a non-factor. It's just a shorter game. But when it's a closer game, you do things a little bit different. I'm going to stop talking.
I was going to say, you're
every
never
time I
going to talk
you
to me
guys,
again.
this is the 3rd one.
bad luck. Carmine Lane hits a home run. We'll let you go quickly today and hope for better luck tomorrow. That's Manager Malachy. We appreciate your time.
All right. Bye-bye.
You know, what I've learned as a broadcaster is you got to read the room. And I would say that Bob Malachy seems like a great guy, and I would say I don't think he wanted to chat as Carmine Lane launched that one out of this ballpark for another home run. And he's not lying when he says that is the third time that he has talked to us and the Raptors have hit a home run. And you know what they say about ball players. They're not superstitious at all. I really am not sure that Carmine Lane that Bob Malachy will ever speak to us again. So after the leadoff homer, it's time for Chase Valentine, who has hit a homer of his own today. I've actually been using the text line today to thank Mr. Gannis for the fries, but if you want to use it, text us at 385-240-1121. A 1 pitch to Valentine he holds up on, and it's a 1-1 count. And I can get confirmation from literally everyone in here with me that they're pretty phenomenal. Are the fries. The 1-1 pitch is a called strike in the bottom inside of the zone. An immediate red pocket mobile strike zone challenge is going to come in from Chase Valentine. The Raptors have just one challenge left. Called strike. And it is overturned to a ball. So Chase Valentine's challenge is successful. And it's now a 2-1 count instead of 1-2. The 2-1 pitch. Tails a little bit too far out of the zone, and now it's 3-1. The breeze has died down from where it was at the beginning of the game. The cloth is still dancing of the U.S. flag out in center field, but not as much. Here's a 3-1 pitch. That's inside on Valentine, and he works a walk. Wasn't super pleased with how close that ball got to his hands. He spiked the bat down and immediately had a bit of a stare down with Blaine Huter, but beyond that, no more action. So a tough start to the bottom of this fourth inning for Huter, who already got lit up in the bottom of the third, giving up 5 runs. His offense also hasn't gotten going, scoring just 1 run and having not scored since the first inning. Pickoff throw to Chase Valentine has him sliding back into home plate. And we're having a couple words between Lester Valentine and our first base umpire that's off the first pitch after Valentine got kind of jammed up on his hands and spiked the bat, so a little extracurriculars going on possibly. First pitch to Colson Lawrence, tails too far out of the zone for ball 1. Lawrence is 0 for 1 today. He walked his last time up and later went on to score in an inning that had 3 errors for the Idaho Falls Chukars. 1-0 pitch, off speed that had eyes for the zone the whole way despite not starting in it. 74 miles an hour, called strike 1. So a 1-1 count incoming to the Hoover, Alabama native, Colson Lawrence. Another pickoff throw over to first. And Chase Valentine is safe again. And Huter is throwing the ball over to first with some gusto behind it. Looks like he might throw home this time. We'll see 1-1. Slightly closed stance. His left foot further towards third than his front one. The throw down to second doesn't come as Chase Valentine was able to steal. So 2 points Chase Valentine in the battle between him and Huter today. Also for Chase Valentine, that's his 38th steal of the year. Leads the team by now a 11 stolen base margin. 2-1 count to Colson Lawrence. Here's the pitch. That one's up high, and it's now 3-1. Huter in jeopardy of giving up 2 free bases in a row after giving up the leadoff home run. No action in the bullpen for the Idaho Falls Chukars. I mean, you heard manager Malachy talk as the 3-1 works inside on Colson Lawrence, and that's another walk. And Malachy said that it changes the game plan if it's close, but if it's not, doesn't change it as much. Now, his team has shown a capability of being able to overcome big deficits, as obviously they've scored 20 runs in 5 of their last 7 games. But now finally, as I said that, you do get a left-hander warming up in the form of Julian Berenti. And Ryan Lee is going to come out and have a few words with his pitcher. Julian Berenti, the left-hander, did warm up during game 1 of today's doubleheader, but then he didn't actually ever come in to hit. Or excuse me, to pitch. Beautiful weather today for a doubleheader. Not too hot. You sat around the low 80s to mid 70s the whole day. So Pepsi was no longer a necessity to make it through the game. It was just kind of an additive enjoyment to the experience. Pepsi offered all over Lindquist Field. So after the conversation, it brings up Tyler Stone. Huter struggling with his command slightly as he has walked 2 straight batters. He's walked 3 in the game. His first pitch to Tyler Stone is hit on a rope and into the glove of a leaping Sam Canton in right field, who did not have a lot of time to react. That ball made its way out to right field quickly as it was off the bat at 112 miles an hour. So you can't fault Tyler Stone for not hitting it hard. He just didn't hit it in quite the right spot. And Sam Canton, for the 2nd or 3rd time today, makes a great play out in right field thanks to his first jump, his first read of the ball. First out of the inning, finally recorded for the Idaho Falls Chukars, and it is going to bring up Gio Ferraro. Standing at the ready for the first pitch, Chase Valentine dances along the baseline. He runs, but it's a foul ball by Ferraro up the third base line. Colson Lawrence was also on the moves. They were going for a double steal. Blaine Huter eyes Chase Valentine down as he walks all the way back to second base. After the foul ball, it's an 0-1 count to Gio Ferraro. Blue bat held over his right shoulder. Huter steps off the mound. Chase Valentine makes his way back to second. A little game within a game going on between these two. Huter eyes down Valentine, who shifts his weight from left to right about 15 feet off the bag. The pitch goes towards home, and this one is hit on the ground by Ferraro, handed by Dooley. They'll get one out at second and turn 2 over at first to end the inning. The Raptors add one more run off the bat of Carmine Lane on a high and deeply launched home run. They lead at 8-1 as we head into the top of the 5th inning. 3 innings left in this abbreviated 7-inning game. Second game of the doubleheader. We'll be with you after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Who's pitching?
3 wireless carriers.
Big corporate mobile. Our stock always goes up.
So do your prices. I'm out. We're cheap, just like your coverage.
We're Red Pocket, your new ultimate cell carrier. Only we give you all 3. No price increases, 2-minute care, and all major networks for your best 5G coverage.
What's your ask?
$10.
You've got a deal. Switch to Red Pocket, like me, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Every journey starts with a dream. And all dreams come with a price. Saving is an uphill climb, but with goals, determination, and the right partner, there's no dream you can't reach. No peak is too high. Bank of Utah provides all the tools and support I need and is with me every step of the way. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Bank of Utah today.
Hey Raptor fans, when enjoying a ball game here at Lindquist Field, make sure you check out the Raptors souvenir stand. Whether it be official player game caps and jerseys, to golf shirts, t-shirts, and novelties, the Raptors have everything to make up your fan support. They even carry ladies' designs. The souvenir stand is behind home plate on the lower concourse, and for all you Raptor fans spread across this great country and abroad, simply go to OgdenRaptors.com where you will find all the Raptors merchandise you can get at the ballpark. Be a part of the Raptors family by sporting your favorite souvenir and apparel items. You'll be the talk of the town. First pitch from Chris Oliver as he enters into his 5th inning of work is a called strike. Here comes the 0-1, and that's swung on and missed by Ty Dooley for strike number 2. Dooley today 1 for 2. Has reached base twice technically, but one of them on a fielder's choice. Looking at an 0-2 count, Oliver shades his face with his glove. Now his pitch is fouled away. Third time through the order for the Idaho Falls Chukars and Chris Oliver of the Raptors. He's managed to go through them twice, totaling 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and allowing just 1 run off of 5 hits. The biggest difference in this game, however, is the fact that the Idaho Falls Chukars, 3 errors to the Raptors, none. And that one misses just a bit too high. Carmine Lane popped up thinking that they had gotten a strikeout on the 0-2. So we're going to get a Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge. It's a called ball being challenged by the catcher, Carmine Lane. And it is confirmed a ball. So the Raptors, I believe, are now out of challenges. And it's going to be a 1-2 count on Ty Dooley. Ty Dooley has racked up just 1 hit in this series coming into today. He hits this one on a line drive on a rope to Dylan Wilkinson right into the glove of the center fielder. And that is going to be the first out of this 5th inning. Emilio Barrera steps in now, being 0 for 1 on the day. He walked back in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd. Barrera and Ostrander both kind of alternate playing second base. First pitch, check swing, and the appeal down to first base said he did not go around, which makes it a 1-0 count. Chris Oliver's first start for the Raptors was a 6-inning outing. He's currently gone 4 1/3. Next pitch misses too high to Barrera to make it 2-0. Ostrander offers up a better bat than Barrera, going 381 versus Barrera's 294. But they've been used an equal amount thus far in this series. Next pitch misses too low. Carmine Lane can't believe it, drops his hands in disgust before giving the ball back to Oliver, but the Raptors can't do anything about it as they're out of challenges. So it's a 3-0 count. Oliver trying to avoid walk number 2 of the night. High left leg kick. The pitch, too high, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Trotting down to first base is Emilio Barrera. Second walk that he has worked tonight. He's offered up a good and disciplined eye at the plate. And that will bring up Sam Canton. Canton, surprisingly, is 0 for 2 on the night. As thus far in this series, he has already entered into the game today, the first game today, going 6 for 9. This morning, he had a decent effort as well, going 2 for 3. So that put him at 8 for 12 on the series. 1-0 as the first pitch was a ball. Here's the pitch from Oliver. That one does find its way into the strike zone. So resettling himself is Oliver out on the mound. It's now 1-1. Oliver grips the ball with his gloved hand until he decides to transfer it over. Almost a slight chicken wing when he receives his sign from Carmine Lane. Now he goes into his motion on a 1-1 count with a runner on first. This one very lightly tapped up the first base line, but it's going to dribble foul. So now 1-2. 2 outs so far, or excuse me, 2 strikes, 1 out. A double play would end the inning. Raptors have only turned 1 double play today, and that was in game 1 of the doubleheader. Have not turned 1 in this game. Here's the 1-2. This one lifted high in the air, deep, no doubt, out of the ballpark. Sam Canton was 0 for 2 on the day. He said that's not right and launched his 26th home run of the season. That ties the team lead with Justin Trimble. Two-run home run that went off the bat at 102 miles an hour and traveled 400 and almost 25 feet, 424 feet. The Raptors lead Now down to 5, 8-3. First home run that Oliver had given up today. It's actually just the 6th hit that he's given up. His first pitch is waved on and missed by Tyler Wyatt. Wyatt already having made history today of increasing his hit streak to 33, which set a Pioneer League record, one that had been standing since 1950, was tied in 2006. So he's already achieved history tonight, but trying to add to it as he's just 1 for 2 on the night. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He hits this one hard to left field, and it's back-to-back home runs having given up by Chris Oliver. Tyler Wyatt decides to put an exclamation mark on his night that had already made history, and his team's now within 4. No one cheering at Lindquist Field except for the handful of Chukars fans and the men clad in their Idaho Falls Chukars jerseys in the dugout. It's the beauty of being an away team. Chukars have put up 3 so far in this inning, gotten themselves within 4. The first pitch from Oliver misses inside to Justin Trimble. Justin Trimble, a dangerous batter to have at the plate right now when you've already given up 2 home runs, as Trimble is tied for the team lead at 26 home runs. 1-0 pitch. Catches the outside of the zone for called strike 1. Oliver, after receiving the ball almost every time, looks out beyond the left field fence where the illuminated Wasatch stand on the horizon. The 1-1 lifted high in the air. Got a lot of height, not a lot of distance. Dylan Wilkinson and Vavakwa converging on it, but it's Dylan Wilkinson, the center fielder, coming down with the ball for the second out of the inning. Sigh of relief if you're Chris Oliver getting past that batter, having already given up 2 home runs and facing the team leader in home runs. But he has finally recorded 2 outs. Wes Mitchell will step up to bat now, ready to receive the first pitch. He swings and misses. He's way ahead of it. And it's now an 0-1 count. Today, Mitchell is 1 for 2. He singled back in the second, and he struck out looking in the 4th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He swings and misses again on that pitch. And he's now 0-2. The Chukars have put up 3 runs, all 3 of them off of long balls. It's 8-4, though, still in favor of the Raptors. The most Oliver has struggled today. Here comes his 0-2. Lifted and into foul territory, out of play. So we'll do the 0-2 once again. Each infielder doing the little infield dance that you do of walking around in your continuous semicircle throughout the game, playing with a little bit of dirt with your cleats, but that's about it. Everyone now in position. Most importantly, Wes Mitchell, ready to receive the 0-2 count. Here it comes. He checks swing. Did he go around? And he did not. Carmine Lane might have some words for the umpires after this ball game, as he's been frustrated behind home plate today. But it'll be a 1-2 count after the check swing. The umpires are having just as long of a day as the players, as it's the same crew calling both games. First base umpire is Steele Rogers. Here's the 1-2. Doesn't matter that it was a check swing last time, as Wes Mitchell goes all the way around. Carmine Lane tags him to secure the strikeout, and that ends the inning. But the Idaho Falls Chukars are able to put up 3 runs off of 2 home runs, and they're within 4. 8-4 in favor of the Ogden Raptors heading into the bottom of the 5th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Next.
Hi. 2 tacos.
2 tacos.
2 tacos. 2 tacos.
Oh, I got them with a small business loan from America First Credit Union. They've been a huge help.
A huge help? Huge help. Huge help. Well, okay. Ah! Fire! Fire! Fire.
Oh, they're fire. Oh, they're on fire.
Get your money working with expert business services from America First.
Raptor fans, Tara Carney, your local Allstate insurance agent, wants you to know you are always in good hands with Allstate. They can help with all your insurance needs, from protecting your auto and property to your family's future with life and financial services and everything in between. Give Tara a call at 801-606-4547 or email her at tara@allstate.com for a free quote. You can even stop by her office on the corner of 20th and Washington. And remember, you're always in good hands with Allstate.
Don't be a bench warmer. Call the insurance center so that you can get on the field and have a good time and get your insurance done properly. Go Raptors!
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. The first pitch is outside for a ball to Garrett Bivacqua. Blaine Huter is still the man on the mound despite giving up 8 runs off of 9 hits. Bivacqua loads up and hits this one foul to make it a 1-1 count. A lot of it hasn't been Huter's fault, if we're being honest. Not that you want to place blame, but the 3 errors behind him have definitely not made his job any easier. 1-1 count to Bivacqua. Shifts his weight from left to right in the box. He holds off on the 1-1 pitch, but it still catches the edge of the strike zone to make it 1-2. Bivacqua, perfect 2 for 2 tonight. He has singled twice. 1-2 pitch incoming, trying to keep his perfect night going. That one misses outside, and he lays off to make it deuces. I wonder if any other ballpark gets as excited for deuces as Lindquist Field does. They didn't even pop the graphic, though, out in the left field. 2-2 pitch. That one, same spot, outside. That looked like it took a lot out of Bivacqua to hold back on it, as almost his whole body leaned toward the pitch that he had just laid off on, but the count is full. So far today, Huter has walked 3. Bivacqua would be the 4th. Here's the payoff pitch. That one misses outside, and it's going to be a walk. Dave Baggett, the owner of the Ogden Raptors, is out in the front row right by our crowd mic, and you can hear him urging on his team. Nothing like the look of a stressed owner. Front row, arms crossed, urging on his boys. Cole Jordan is the one stepping up to bat. Not a great night for Jordan thus far. He's 0 for 2 with a popped out bunt and a strikeout swinging. He check swings on the first pitch. It gets away from the catcher, and he went around. Ogden Raptor fans can't believe it, as they, in their mind, that was the exact same swing that Wes Mitchell offered up and said was a check swing in the last inning. Not here to provide an opinion, just here to share the facts. So it's going to be an 0-1 count on Cole Jordan. Huter, deep breath. Here's his pitch. That one misses a bit too high. And it's going to be a 1-1 count. Coming into today, Cole Jordan in this series was 4 for 9. His better game of the 2 was game 1, where he had a double and a home run. He swings on this next pitch. It goes off the base of his bat on the ground. They'll turn 1 over at second and get 2 over at first for the first 2 outs of the inning. So still not a great night for Cole Jordan. He stays over, and that time grounds into a double play. But the Raptors don't need to worry, as the man, the myth, the legend, Hank Dodson, is about to step into the box. He's perfect, 2 for 2 on this game, and a beautiful 4 for 5 on the day. He's also had 7 RBIs today, 5 in the first game, 2 in this one. First pitch to Dodson is inside on his hands. He backs up a little bit, and it's ball 1. Dodson, next pitch misses too low, so it's now 2-0 to the catcher. Hank had the worst batting average in the lineup for the Raptors in the last game. Didn't matter to him as he was the most productive batter in the game. He swings on a pitch that might have been a bit outside the zone, pokes it foul to make it a 2-1 count. Dodson's going to readjust his gloves, adjust his helmet, and now step into the batter's box. Right foot first, then left. Huter gets his sign, pulls his glove back into his chest, and is ready to kick and deal. Here it comes. A bit too low, a stuck frame by Ryan Lee, but to no avail, and it's now 3-1. Dodson looking to stay perfect on the night. He's had a single and a double thus far. Here comes a 3-1 count. He swings this one, a line drive right up the middle. It's got some air under it, a little bit too much, and it is handled by the center fielder Tyler Wyatt to end the inning. Momentum creeping towards Idaho Falls' side as they scored 3 in that inning. The Raptors scored none. It's still 8-4 in favor of the Raptors, but can they hold on? 2 innings left to see. We'll be back after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Hi, I'm Christopher with Absolute Comfort Heating and Air, and I would do anything to keep my customers comfortable. And when it comes to family, I would do anything for love. I'd fix just about anything. You know I would do anything for you. I won't do that.
But you won't do that.
At Absolute Comfort, I'll do whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. New pitcher is in the game for the Ogden Raptors in the form of Gabriel Pacheco. Gabriel has pitched once already during this series. He came in for relief in Game 2. That was the most recent game that these teams had played prior to today. He went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, walked 1, struck out 1, and gave up a home run. That was in that 20-9 loss that the Raptors took. His first pitch misses a hair outside. Pacheco is a 6'1" righty from Memphis, Tennessee. He played for the Boise Hawks in 2025, also played for the Raptors in 2024. Here's the 1-0. Pitch misses inside. Pacheco has a bit of an elongated delivery where his motion is a little bit slow until he whips the ball in towards home plate. So it's a real slow now to fast motion. 2-0 works inside, and Parker Lester has some happy feet to get out of the way. With a 4-run lead, this game's still fully in reach for the Idaho Falls Chukars, and the Raptors aware of that. Here comes the 3-0 from Pacheco. Left leg kick, the deal, dead center, called strike. Pacheco already set on the rubber by the time Lester made his way back into the box. His 3-1 offering incoming, swung on and missed, and he's worked his way right back into this at-bat. Pacheco only struck out 1 in his last appearance for the Ogden Raptors. Looking to tie that, and just the first batter that he faces in this outing. Here's the payoff pitch, glove over his face. Now Pacheco lowers it and goes into his motion. Here it comes, outside, ball 4. Not a great omen, as leadoff walks very often come around to score for the Ogden, or for just teams in general. Not a good omen for the Ogden Raptors. Only 2 innings left in this ball game. Text us 385-240-1121. Let us know your thoughts. Did you watch both games today? Are you heading to the ballpark for the rest of the week? Let us know. And do the Raptors hold on? First pitch misses up too high to Ryan Lee. Lee, a smaller strike zone, to say the least, than a lot of these other players, being just 5'8". But has already showed that he has power. Those 2 home runs back in game 2. That was a slight anomaly for Lee, as he had only hit 4 home runs coming into the game. Another pitch works up and inside on him, this one inching ever closer to his face, and immediately that's going to prompt Chris Griffin to come running out of the dugout. Chris Griffin with great shoe game tonight. He's got baby blue dunks that matched the baby blues of this morning's jerseys and still complement the tie-dye shirt that he's wearing out there on the mound. Griffin, a pitcher for the Raptors last year, has now adopted the role of pitching coach. Part of the couple of staff changes that happened for the Ogden Raptors. And after that conversation between Lane, Pacheco, and Griffin, everyone will go back to their positions behind home plate. It's a 2-0 count to Ryan Lee, and neither of those 2 pitches sniffed the strike zone. The runner on first, Parker Lester, got there via a free pass walk. So here comes the first pitch after the mound meeting, and it's successful. Swung on and missed by Ryan Lee for strike 1. 91-mile-an-hour fastball that was up and on the inside corner of the zone, perfectly placed. Pacheco with his glove folded over into his chest, the ball gripped in his right hand behind his back. He brings it in to the motion, and it's fouled back into the netting behind home plate. And he has fought back to become 2-2. Chris Griffin clapping and encouragement from the dugout. His mound meeting seems to have worked. Pacheco searching for his first out of the inning and his first out of his outing. The runner on first is Parker Lester. Sidestepping off the bag just slightly. He goes. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's a strikeout. The throw to Cole Jordan is too high, and he's just able to slide under the tag is Parker Lester. Carmine Lane aired it out just a hair too much to his other co-captain, and they were not able to turn the unlikely double play of the strikeout and caught stealing. But Gabriel Pacheco is able to pick up a strikeout, his first of the night, to get the first out of the inning. Next man up is going to be Spencer Rich, who's 0 for 2 today. Pacheco checks the runner on second. Lester, who has already just showed off his speed. His first pitch is a called strike in the bottom left side of the strike zone to Rich. Rich immediately turns around and challenges. It's a called strike. Spencer Rich, the batter, is challenging. Red Pocket Mobile strike zone challenge. It is overturned to a ball. So first pitch ball. 1-0 count instead of 0-1. The Raptors still lead by 4. Rich turns on this one and hits it into shallow left field. Rounding third and coming home is Lester. The play at the plate is going to be close. And Carmine Lane gets the ball, applies the tag, and saves a run. Beautiful throw in from Colson Lawrence in left field. Carmine Lane stood, handled it on one hop, and had the ball a good 3 paces before Lester got there. The Raptors felt like they were searching for momentum, and that play saving a run thanks to Colson Lawrence's arm. Or excuse me, that was actually Dylan Wilkinson's arm in center field. Thanks to Dylan's arm and the tag by Carmine, saves a run. So 2 outs now. Spencer Rich did make it to second. It's going to be a single that turned into a double thanks to the throw. But an ability to end the inning as Gabriel Pacheco goes up against Ty Dooley for the first time. Dooley, the leadoff man. And he has not had a great night tonight. He's 1 for 3. Went 2 for 4 in the first game today. Has not had an RBI yet today. First pitch misses for a ball. Here comes the 1-0 outside again, and it's 2-0. Pacheco is struggling with control slightly. Man warming up is the right-hander. Might be Dylan Gardner again, or could be Kyle Lewis. 37 and 38, both players look similar. The 2-0 swung on and missed to make it a 2-1 count. Pacheco continues to work his way back into this at-bat. Be interested to see who comes out to pitch in this seventh inning sixth inning, excuse me, as it's been seventh, that was right. It's been a slightly shaky sixth. Here comes the 2-1, it's fouled away, and it's now quickly 2-2. Dooley searching for his just second hit of the night, and he hasn't reached base since back in the first inning. Dave Baggett yelling advice from the front row. Righty versus lefty. Pacheco, glove at his belt, kicks his left leg, deals. This one hit opposite field. That goes past Ferraro into left field. Colson Lawrence is going to try his arm. No, it's respected by Spencer Rich, who holds up at third. And the Idaho Falls Chukars trying to avoid a repeat of what happened to Parker Lester, so they hold up their runner on third base. And it places runners on the corners with 2 outs for Emilio Barrera, who is 0 for 1 today. You have to wonder, does Parker or Spencer Rich get sent if Parker Lester doesn't get thrown out just a batter ago? Pacheco still trying to get out of the inning without allowing a run and put up another 0. His first pitch is an off-speed that finds its way into the zone for called strike 1. Emilio Barrera raises his right hand in a little bit of disgust, maybe frustrated with himself, because really can't be frustrated with that call. It was pretty clear-cut a strike. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Pacheco gets his sign, checks his runners, kicks his left leg, and offers that one. Missed by a pretty good deal for ball 1. Blue skies with tints of gray as the clouds speckle throughout the background of Lindquist Field. Pickoff throw to first, make sure that Dooley isn't getting too big of a lead, and he wasn't. It's a 1-1 count to Barrera. First pitch strike, next pitch ball. Barrera still searching for his first hit of the night. He's walked twice and struck out swinging once. The 1-1 pitch misses a bit outside. Lane did his best behind the plate to bring it into the strike zone, but was not successful, and it's 2-1. After Barrera are the 2 men who have hit home runs today, Canton and Wyatt. So if you're Pacheco, you'd like to get out of this inning on this batter, not the next one. The runner goes. Carmine Lane does not throw.
Stay up there, Kristen. Stay up there.
As the Barrera, the batter, swung and missed, and the bat got a little bit in the way of Carmine Lane's attempt to throw. But despite the no throwdown, it is 2-2. So Pacheco with a chance to get out of the inning. Here's his pitch. Swing and a miss! Huge strikeout by Gabriel Pacheco. He claps his hands in excitement. And the Ogden Raptors and Gabriel Pacheco hold the Idaho Falls Chukars scoreless in the top of the 6th, despite them knocking on the door of scoring all inning long. It's Raptors 8, Chukars 4, heading into the bottom of the 7th on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Dave Grant has proudly served the community for over 50 years. Getting what you need, where you need it, when you need it, encapsulates our mission to deliver reliable and timely service. Contact us at 801-394-1621 or at www.granttrucking.com.
Welcome back from the break. Tonight's broadcast is presented on the Home Team Network for live video streaming, on YouTube for audio-only coverage, and on 88.9 FM for In the Park Radio.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke, and it's the chance for the Raptors to try to make it more than a 4-run lead in the Idaho Falls Chukars' final at-bats in the top of the 7th. Dylan Wilkinson, though, not going to be able to add to that as he flies out on the first pitch that he sees. Blaine Huter is still the man pitching for the Idaho Falls Chukars. So could be a combination of a strategic move, trying to keep your arms fresh for the rest of the series as we still have 2 games to play. And also just belief in your pitcher as he has held pretty steady besides that 1/3 inning. First pitch to Carmine Lane misses too low down in the dirt. Also have to think about it. There was 3 errors in that 3rd inning. So you can't put all of that on your pitcher. And for the most part, he's thrown pretty well today. Carmine Lane pops this next one up into foul territory. Chasing it down is going to be the first baseman, Parker Lester, but it sails out of play just beyond O-Town Bar and Grill. So depending on how this inning goes, it looks like the Idaho Falls Chukars might get through this whole game without a Coors Light call to the bullpen. The Raptors have used one of them so far to bring in Gabriel Pacheco for Chris Oliver. 1-1 count to Carmine Lane. He does get under this one again, and this one in fair territory that will be able to be played. It's Emilio Barrera settling under it, and he squeezes it for the 2nd out of the inning. So quick work of the Raptors so far by Blaine Huter. Just 4 pitches to get 2 outs. Chase Valentine, the shortstop, 3-hole hitter, will come up. 1 for 2 tonight. His one, though, was a solo home run. The man warming up for the Raptors is Jonathan Ramallo. He looks like he's going to be the one to come in the top of the 7th. First pitch to Chase Valentine is laid off, and it catches the outside part of the zone for strike 1. Valentine taps the outside of the plate, then the inside, circles his bat once and gets into his position. Here's the 0-1. He rips this one right up the middle. Going over to his left is Tyler Wyatt, and he makes the catch on the run on the warning track. A quick 1-2-3 inning for the Ogden Raptors, but now it's the Idaho Falls' final chance to overcome their 4-run deficit. We'll see if they can in the top of the 7th after this break on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
If you're a business owner with 1 or more employees, you'll need a workers' compensation policy. A workers' compensation policy is required in almost every state. No matter what type of work, if your employee gets hurt on the job, a workers' compensation policy addresses medical care and lost income for injured employees, fatality benefits for families and workers killed on the job, and your potential liability for covered claims. Workers' compensation coverage is divided into 2 categories: workers' compensation insurance, which helps care for the injured employee, and employer's liability insurance, which protects you. At WCF, we provide safety training, medical care, return to work coordination, and more. When your employee gets hurt on the job, we'll take care of you both.
Hey, gang, you're watching Ogden Raptors professional baseball right here on the Raptors Baseball Network. Ciao, baby.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke with you in the top of the 7th inning. An abbreviated game here on a day where we have already played a game, a doubleheader, making up for the canceled game yesterday. Both of them 7-inning games. Ogden took the victory in game 1, 15-8. They have led throughout all of this game, but the Idaho Falls Chukars have slowly worked their way back into it. Jonathan Romallo is the man coming in to pitch for the Ogden Raptors here in the top of the 7th inning. Romallo is in his 10th appearance in relief, 7.0 ERA. He has a save. This is not a save situation as he enters the game with his team leading by 4, and it has to be within 3. But still a chance to help the Raptors to victory. The 1-0 pitch is in there in the bottom of the strike zone for called strike 1. With a win today, the Raptors would tie up the series 2-2, and they would also sweep the doubleheader today on a Friday. 1-1 count coming into Canton. Romallo, the right-hander, flowing black locks out of his hat. And it's a called strike in the bottom of the strike zone to make it 1-2. Top of the 7th inning in a 7-inning game. This is the last time the Idaho Falls Chukars will come up to bat, which means they have to score 4 or more runs to extend the game. 1-2 count. Romallo, deep breath, standing on the middle of the rubber. His pitch swung on, grounded. Cole Jordan shutout to his left, make the throw over to Gannis at first, who just subbed in. And that's the first out of the inning. Tyler Wyatt will step up to the plate now. He's having a great game. He broke the record for hit streaks in the Pioneer League. Today was his 33rd game in a row with a hit. Has hit in every game he's played in since July 5th, Pioneer League record. First pitch to him. Misses inside and low. Wyatt then followed up his single that got him the record with a home run in the 5th inning that got the Idaho Falls Chukars within 4. It was a solo shot. 1-0 count. He waves his maroon bat that matches his jersey over his right shoulder, swings and misses on the next offering, and it's 1-1. This is just about the coldest game that we have had at Lindquist Field all summer long. It's not cold by any means, 73 degrees, but I'm seeing a couple hoodies be pulled up right now. Romallo's 1-1, high left leg kick, the pitch, pulled, but foul. That might have made Raptor fans' hearts drop for a second. But it was foul nonetheless, so a 1-2 count again. 1-2 count is the count that Sam Canton just grounded out on. Romallo and his defense hoping for the same result with Wyatt. Here comes the pitch from Romallo. That one's too low. Mimicking the flight of the ball is Tyler Wyatt as he bends his knees as it missed low. Still a bit of sunlight here as it's just 8:27 p.m. Sun sets at around 8:35. But the outfielders definitely pleased that the lights are on in left and right field. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And that one misses just a bit outside. Carmine Lane popped up, the catcher, like he thought they'd gotten a strikeout. And then just let his head tip back in disgust for about the 5th time in this ballgame. Full count. Jonathan Romallo and the Raptors leading by 4, looking to pick up their 2nd win in a row today. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Jonathan Romallo hops up and down a couple times on the mound, knowing that his team is just an out away from another victory. This one feels big for the Raptors. After getting pretty much handled by the Idaho Falls Chukars in the first 2 games and sitting on a 7-game losing streak. Picking up 2 would be massive today. Justin Trimble is the only thing standing in the way of the Raptors. He fouls the first one back. A 1 count on Trimble, who is 0 for today, 0 for 3. Fly out, ground out, fly out. The Raptors also needing to try to make a run for the playoffs, and that 7-game losing streak was really hurting their chances. 2 wins today, would be massive for momentum. Here's the 0-1. That misses inside. On the other side of the coin, Idaho Falls Chukars had a dismal first half of the season. They've bounced back very well and are just 2 games out of second for the second half of the season. So they need every game right now as well. Here's the 1-1. Misses too low. It's 2-1. A hushed excitement over Lindquist Field right now. Fans have continued to fill up the whole day. Been playing baseball since 3 p.m. here in Ogden. 2-1 count. Deep breath from Romalo. Only 1 second left on the pitch clock, and he gives it away. And that one missed a hair too high. If you compare Romalo to, say, Nico Saltramaggio, who started game 1 of today, there's a huge difference in the pace that they played the game at. Romalo a little bit more deliberate, also using the final seconds of the pitch clock. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on and missed. Count is full. Dave Baggett encouraging his fans, everyone, stand up, stand up. Lindquist Field patrons following suit. Everyone getting loud as the noise-o-meter is shown out on the screen in left field. Raptors looking to tie up this series after it was looking unlikely after the first 2 games. Here's the payoff pitch. Oh, just outside. So Justin Trimble works a well-earned walk. That's his first time reaching base tonight. And now it's up to Wes Mitchell, who singled back in the second inning, but has struck out his last 2 times up. The good news for the Raptors is that the tying run is the man who is still sitting in the hole in the dugout. But anything is possible, especially against the best team, best offense in the league. So the Raptors want to seal this one up as quickly as they can. First pitch to Mitchell, batted off of just the end of his bat, foul. The Raptor fans returned to their seats after the walk was issued by Romalo, but still working their vocal cords, cheering on the team. 0-1 count, big lead for Trimble off of first. Here's the pitch. Swung on, high in the air, right field. Sprinting in on it is Bavakwa, going back is Jordan. And Jordan makes the catch while backpedaling for the 3rd out of the ball game. After the Ogden Raptors dropped game 1 by 8 and game 2 by 11, neither of which felt close. The series was looking like it was getting out of hand, but after 2 games of baseball on this Friday, we are all knotted up at 2 games apiece. Ogden sweeps the doubleheader, winning game 1 15-8, game 2 8-4. And we are going to be tied as we head into Saturday. 2 games left to decide this series. And I can guarantee you it's going to come down to Sunday, whether we get a victory or a split series. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will assign our Rocky Mountain Propane Flamethrower of the game, as well as our Golden Bat. But that'll be after this break for the Ogden Raptors postgame show on the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network.
Come stop by O-Town, where you can enjoy drinks, delicious food, and dingers.
Welcome back to the Ogden Raptors Broadcast Network. Arden Locke with you here for the Ogden Raptors post-game show. Ogden takes both games in the doubleheader today. Game 1, 15-8 in their favor. Game 2, a little bit closer, 8-4, but they held the lead through both of those two games. Our player interview today is going to be Hank Dodson. Hank, I'll let you know that you have earned 2 golden bats today, which is really an irrelevant award that I have decided to give out after games. But congratulations. I mean, what a day for you. How are you seeing the ball so well? Just what went well?
I want to simplify things today. I just want to be slow, be easy, and just let the ball come to me. I have a problem sometimes. I like to get too big, and I just like try to relax and just have fun with it.
What did it mean to you to have the faith of manager Ed Campanello in game 1 where you hit the grand slam? You know, he might have wanted to have a different matchup there, but trusted you. And then over in game 2 being put in as the DH, just a lot of faith from the staff and the team tonight.
Yeah, there is a lot of faith there. And, it really builds or boosts your confidence. Just know that he's got that much faith in me and just makes me go out there and play even better than I already want to,
Hank, congratulations. Phenomenal night for you. 7 RBIs, a grand slam and a home run in game 1. Go celebrate, enjoy it with the team.
All right, thank you.
So I gave it away a little bit, but I'm giving my golden bat to Hank Dodson once again, second game in a row. He goes 2 for 3 in game 2, which matches his 2 for 3 of game 1. So finishes the day 4 for 6, but more importantly, 7 RBIs for the catcher, giving the faith to be the DH in game 2, a position that he's not usually in, and he takes full advantage, ties the team high of RBIs. Then our Rocky Mountain Propane Flamethrower of the night is going to go to Chris Oliver. He got a little roughed up in his final inning, his 5th inning of work, but he goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs off of 7 hits. He gets the victory, so he's now 2-0 on the season. He's 2-0 in just 2 starts as an Ogden Raptor, and has definitely been an exciting addition to a team that was struggling a little bit in the pitching perspective. Blaine Huter goes the full game and pitches a pretty decent one, giving up 8 runs on 9 hits. But the big thing there is only 3 of those runs were earned. The 3 errors are going to be what the Idaho Falls Chukars go back to their locker room and talk about tonight. Ogden takes a 8-4 victory in this one. 2 straight W's. They move to 41-35 on the season. Idaho falls to 31-45. Before we go tonight, thank yous are in order as always. A long day at the ballpark, and it's made possible by all these incredible people. Our technical director is Alan Hill. I was your play-by-play announcer, Arden Locke. Our field camera was manned by Will Edwards. Our fan camera is manned by Joshua Ijeka. Our graphics guy and our shader is Andrew Gaunt. And the executive producer who makes this whole thing happen is Tim Broussard. Thank you so much, whether you joined us for an inning or 14 today, for spending time watching and listening to Ogden Raptors baseball. I'm Arden Locke, and have a great night. Have a great night.